Nothing in life comes easy. Most people who appear to have an easy life are just better at hiding it. For many of us, the idea of independence begins with excitement, decorating our first apartment, setting up auto pay for all the bills, or making that first grocery list. But soon, reality hits. Adulthood is expensive. After all, life comes with a fair share of surprises, and the key to navigate life is not to control every outcome, but to control how you react to whatever that happens. Life does not follow a perfect script. What used to be intimidating in my 20s surprisingly feel empowering to me right now. So I guess it's time to share what I've learned and what I've struggled with over the years of living by myself. For those of you who have been thinking of moving out, this is for you. You are much stronger than you think you are. The real challenge comes from learning how to be alone without feeling lonely. Let's get right into it. I moved out at the age of 24. At the moment I moved out of my mom's place, I was so excited for my freedom, but at the same time, I was feeling lost and uncertain on my ability to handle life. I also became much more conscious of who I am and the traumas that used to shape me, as if I'm looking at myself with a magnifying glass. Growing up in an abusive environment, peace felt foreign to me, and I was struggling with my mental health during the first year of moving out. Back then, I had a partner, and I would always start a fight without context because I was used to chaos. It was everything I've ever known. And here's the truth no one tells you about: living alone will expose all the hidden, ugly parts of yourself, but the best part is you can either accept it or do something about it. You are accountable for your own growth. Moving out will reveal all the bad habits you need to work on. If you are a messy and disorganized person, your home will reflect the clutter, and it becomes your personal responsibility to do right by yourself. No more running away whenever you're faced with discomfort, because at the end of the day, you know that you're on your own. If you want to ruin your life, no one is coming to save you, so you might as well make the best out of it. The more I embrace my personal space, the more I realize that loneliness is a concept that's been widely misunderstood by society. The truth is, the older I get, the more I realize that happiness is quiet mornings, a clean space, early nights, a safe home, and people who don't drain my energy. Honestly, it's so peaceful when you know how to take care of yourself and attend to your own needs. Not having to depend on anyone to make you happy. Though the only thing I hate about living alone is dealing with bugs, my biggest nightmare. I always call the security to get rid of it. Other than that, living alone allows me to be free from anyone's expectations. I don't have to consider the needs and feelings of others. I don't have to dim my light for anyone. I get to come home to myself after a long, tiring day and just be myself. I don't have the obligation to take on the role of a daughter, a wife, or a mother and pretend to be someone else I'm not. Trust me, nothing in this world can replace the freedom that comes from living alone. Let's be real, freedom is everything these days. Humanity crave for freedom more than anything, but they don't realize what it actually takes to be free from social expectations, social judgment, and social stigma. In fact, true freedom is not doing whatever you want with no consequences. True freedom is simply the ability to make choices and the burden of owning these choices. Therefore, having to bear the consequences, be it positive or negative. Trust me, you'll be surprised that most people don't actually want freedom because it comes with a heavy burden, which is accepting responsibility for the outcome of our actions. Eventually, moving out will force you to confront your own demons. The quick temper that's been sabotaging your growth and your relationships with others? Yeah, it will be amplified whenever you're at home in the stillness, deep in your thoughts. But if you use all the alone time to distract yourself with other things like playing video games constantly, you'll always feel empty as though something is missing in your life when the truth is, You're just unwilling to accept your shortcomings and work on it. Let's be real, some people refuse to work on themselves because it requires them to admit that they're wrong. So they would much rather be in denial and stay miserable. Or they may struggle with a deep seated fear of change. Either way, they will act like they are incapable of doing anything about it. They don't care about the emotional damage that they inflict on others. I can assure you that moving out is a complete waste of time and resources if you don't use the opportunity wisely to better yourself. What's the point of investing in your personal space if you're just using it as a form of escape? On top of that, living alone means inheriting a long list of responsibilities: water, electricity bills, Wi Fi, groceries, and cleaning supplies you never realized would cost that much. Any minor or major home repairs are on you as well. Every convenience that you used to take for granted comes with a price tag. I admit that I always underestimate my monthly expenses and overspend my budget on shopping, but I learned to handle my finances better with time. But the worst part is, if you just had a surgery, you have to figure out the recovery process on your own. Just 2 weeks ago, I was admitted to the A&E at 4 a.m. as I experienced a sharp stabbing pain on my abdomen when I was asleep. The pain was so unbearable that I was low-key screaming while curling up like a ball, shivering in cold sweat. I tried to endure the pain for 30 minutes, which honestly felt like an hour, but it only got worse. In those moments that felt like I was on the brink of death, I'm very thankful that I stayed next to a hospital, so I managed to get help in time. As I was escorted on a wheelchair from the car into the emergency department, something struck me. And here's the thing about living alone that no one talks about. Unless you explicitly tell someone that you're sick or hospitalized, no one is coming to check on you. So you have to be mentally, physically, and emotionally ready for anything to happen. Looking back, it was a deeply humbling experience as I've never imagined myself to be in that situation. No one does. Look, I'm not trying to bring you down or discourage you from moving out because it has been such a life changing experience for me so far. But you have to understand that being independent comes at a cost. In fact, everything we do in life comes at a cost, be it time, money, effort, or sacrifice. What are the trade offs you're willing to accept? Let's say that you're paying for rent just to get your own space, even though you can stay with your parents. First of all, you know you have to cut back on your expenses, and you're also giving up the opportunity to save for something else, like a car or a house. But on the bright side, you get to live your life based on your terms. Most people may not necessarily agree with the way you choose to live your life, especially if you're single by choice, as it's more realistic to move out if you have a partner to share the rent. Honestly, one of the main reasons why I moved out was to create a safe space for myself and take the time to truly understand myself without anyone's influence around me, telling me what to do or what not to do. And the most underrated truth about living alone is that it gives me the opportunity to learn something new about myself every day. By discovering what makes me happy and what I'm willing to compromise or tolerate. I admit that living alone can definitely feel isolating if you don't make a conscious effort to prioritize your physical and mental health. Stop treating discomfort as a sign for danger when it's actually a sign of real growth. If you're feeling lonely at times, I get it. It happens a lot when you're living alone. Ask a friend out or call them up for a chat rather than waiting for them to reach out. You can also make plans with yourself. Being an INFJ, I learned to enjoy my own company when I focus on self care, like getting my nails done, going for my lash and facial appointments, and not see it as something negative. It's a personal investment. When you look good, you feel good. I understand that some people actually feel guilty for spending money on themselves, but it comes from a lack mindset. Ultimately, every decision we make has consequences, and these consequences come with a cost. It's important to weigh the cost of our actions against the benefits they bring so we can make informed choices that align with our values and priorities. Here's why living alone may not be for everyone. The reason why it can be daunting to some people is because they're living in survival mode and it becomes a default if everything is on them. So if you're struggling with anything, learn to ask for help. I can't stress this enough. I know that we are all taught to figure it out, but real maturity comes from knowing when to ask for help. I'm also aware that not everyone has the privilege to rely on their family, but trust me, you are not alone. After all, you get to decide the narrative of your life. Do you think you're ready to move out? Thank you for watching and click to subscribe if you enjoy my content. Bye!